He was homeless, but he wasn't a beggar. He never asked for help. Every morning, just as the park began to fill with life, he arrived at the same bench. He carried very little with him: a worn notebook, a pen that sometimes stopped working, and a small stack of blank cards folded neatly inside his coat. He didn't come to the park just to pass time. He came to observe. He watched faces, not crowds, looking for the quiet stories unfolding within. He would see a woman sitting alone, staying longer than she needed to. A man staring into his phone without actually reading. A teenager walking in restless circles, lost in thought. Living on the streets had taught him a profound truth. Sadness doesn't shout, it settles quietly into the spaces between breaths. One afternoon, he noticed a woman sitting near the path. Her shoulders were still, but tears slipped silently down her face, one after another. He opened his notebook and wrote carefully, "You are not weak for feeling this. You are human, and this pain will not stay forever." As he passed her, he gently placed the card in her hand and kept walking without a word. She unfolded it slowly. Her breathing changed, catching in her throat. She pressed the card to her chest and closed her eyes, as if someone had finally spoken the words her heart needed to hear. Another day, he noticed a young student sitting on the steps, head down, backpack untouched on the ground beside him. People hurried past, but the boy didn't move, isolated in his own world. The man opened his notebook again and wrote another message. "You are not behind. You are learning, and you're allowed to take your time." He handed the card to the boy as he walked by. The student read it once, then again. He folded it carefully, slipped it into his pocket, and when he stood up, his shoulders were a little straighter than before. One morning, he crossed paths with an old man walking slowly along the path. His bike bent, his eyes fixed on the ground ahead. The man stopped for a moment and wrote with particular care, "Your life still matters. Your present still counts. It's not too late to feel hope." As he passed, he placed the card gently into the old man's hand and continued on his way. The old man read the words once, then again. He stopped walking. His hands began to shake as his eyes filled with tears. He turned and followed the man who had given him the card. When he reached him, he stepped forward and wrapped his arms around him in a tight hug. "Thank you," he said quietly, his voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for giving me hope." The man stood still for a moment, surprised, then slowly returned the embrace. They stood like that for a few seconds, and then they separated. No names were exchanged, no questions were asked. There was a time when this man's life looked different. He had a home to return to, a daily routine, a name that people used. Then, things changed. It wasn't a sudden collapse, but a steady decline. Losing his home took many things from him, but it didn't take his ability to care. In fact, it sharpened it. When you live with very little, you learn the immense power of small things. A kind sentence, a moment of being truly seen, a simple reminder that you still matter in this world. As the day drew to a close, the park slowly emptied. He folded his remaining cards and stood up from his bench. Tomorrow, he would return to the same paths, with the same pen. He wasn't there to ask for help or to be seen. He was there to give hope to those who needed it most. Ayad no ome, but every single day, he gave comfort. Thank you for watching. Remember to be kind, because a few simple words can change someone's entire world.